most interesting and therefore my favorite has been the software-defined networking, where we've adopted this technology to not only support our computing environments but also our communications environments. We're well underway in deploying it, and what makes it my favorite technology or innovation is the fact that it forces our business processes to be deeply ingrained with the technology itself. Unfortunately, too many times we deploy technology and we try to adapt them to yesterday's business processes. In the case of SDN, it won't succeed unless you specifically do integrate it with your business process. So I'm very impressed by what's happening there, and I see great potential. The biggest problems we're running into right now is supporting the unclassified environment. Of course, our unclassified environment is borders on the internet itself, which is of course the source of many cyber attacks and the like. The problem we have is we have mission traffic interspersed with morale and welfare traffic. So we're having to protect the environment and therefore protect the traffic. And distinguishing between the morale and welfare and the mission traffic is quite a challenge for us right now. So as we should apply our protections against our mission traffic and allow the morale and welfare to flow freely. Trying to distinguish between those two traffic patterns has been a real challenge, and we're aggressively trying to resolve that. Acquisition is for historically been criticized as the big problem when it comes to deploying any new capability. With the advent of other transaction authority, OTAs, when Congress allowing us to take it from pilot or on into production, this has been a great benefit to technology, specifically innovation, because with OTAs you don't have to be specific about what you want. You have a problem set and you turn it over to industry, and industry brings the innovative solution sets to us. And in that way, we can stay abreast of what is transpiring in technology. Because again, if you comply with the standard acquisition process, you're normally going to deploy something behind when it was actually needed, or later than when it was actually needed. That's a process, if you will. From the other perspective for technology, I'm back to the business processes themselves. Okay, we in the department, we in any bureaucracy tends to take a new technology, an innovative thought, and then try to adapt it to yesterday's business processes. Or even when we do our classic contracting, we'll talk about today's processes and how we should apply a technological solution to that. Bottom line here is we have to take new technologies and then get the workforce to adapt to those new technologies. Culture is the biggest challenge when we talk about technology. Technology's there, it's the culture to exploit the technology is the true problem. Identity management. Okay, coming to grips with identity management. Today we have a common access card. Many have PIV cards. Let's face it, the primary attack vector to that card it comes from the washing machine. Okay, it gets lost in the washing machine, and what happens? Now that individual can't do work. Okay, we have to come to grips with, we can't expect warfighters in our case to be relying on a piece of plastic. We have to get innovative. Not only that, the users of tomorrow, the kids of tomorrow, they're going to expect something different. They can't be relying upon that device. We have to have something different, and that's going to be one of the biggest and most interesting things that comes to pass. Well, we're trying to embrace them, but as you say, they're emerging technologies. So where do they apply? So unfortunately, too many times in any organization, we tend to be buzzword focused, right? And AI, oh, that's the new buzzword. Oh, we have to do AI. Well, really, you have to come to grips with what are you going to use it for, okay? And the biggest problem, I think, that AI can be of great value to us in my particular situation, where we provide interoperability and information sharing environments, is when it comes to insider threat. Okay, whether the insider threat may be a malicious or just poor behavior, okay, knowing that, anticipating that, and trying to come to grips with avoiding it or precluding it from coming to pass. That's what we're focused on. So AI turns out to be probably a technology that's kind of have to be exploited if we're truly going to be effective in our insider threat mitigation strategies. Again, we're back to AI, but which of course that would do, but then you have to come to grips with mobility or cell phone use and whatever. When you take a look at our requirements in this day and age, okay, we have to take a look at what our 10-year-olds, 11-year-olds, and 12-year-olds are doing. What are they doing? They are all riveted to a cell phone. Now, in a couple of years, they're going to be soldiers, sailors, and airmen. And that's what they've grown up with. So we in the Department of Defense have to come to grips with, okay, how do we take that and adapt it to our environment? Okay, how do we make cell technology, mobility, adapted to our environment? Now, if you take it to the further on, you have to take a look at the fact that, wait a second, we have to be mobile. We have to be agile. The only way you can be agile and mobile is, as I say, with cell technology or satellite-based cell technology. That's the only way we're going to be agile enough to meet the threat of the day. Now, I think this is amazing times. Okay, we have the opportunity to meet the challenge and to really improve the lot of our men and women that are going in harm's way to protect our way of life. We have an opportunity to help these men and women with the technology that's evolving. As long as government and industry team, we can do some amazing things.